William and Jessie Ramsay were my paternal grandparents. They lived in this wonderful house near Saucon Creek in Northampton County in Pennsylvania. The house had 14 rooms and 3 stories, a full basement, and even a wine cellar under the basement. And there was a dumbwaiter that ran from the basement up to the second floor. There was a small fireplace in each room, outfitted to burn coke, and the main rooms had envelope doors. We didn't spend much time inside because when we visited, it was usually a family event, and we were outdoors playing with our many cousins in a very large lawn that stretched from the front porch down to the road. The road in the background was lined with hedge apples, which the Native Americans preferred for wood to make their bows. The pioneers had Henry rifles, but they used the hedge apples as a living fence before the days of barbed wire. We kids used the bumpy green fruit as softballs, although we were curious when, during our play, the apples quickly secreted a sticky white latex. Neither Grandpa nor Grandma ever raised their voices, as I recall. Indoors, Grandpa would circle his finger around and around as he got closer and closer to one of us while repeating, "Boily, boily, boily, boy," and then with a whoop, he'd plunge his finger into some ticklish part of your body. I don't remember ever having a conversation with either of them. Grandma was always pleasant and made sure to have fresh slices of white bread, soft butter, and white sugar on the table for us. We looked forward to helping ourselves for sugar bread as a snack. Grandpa was usually gone to work, even after he was probably retired. At their 50th wedding anniversary on December 17, 1941, I, as an 11-year-old, played La Cinquantaine by Gabriel Marie on my violin. At that age, I had no idea what their lives had been like, what experiences lay beneath and behind their calm exteriors. I now wish, at age 91, that I had talked with them about their experiences with life instead of seeing only hedge apples and sugar bread. But I can read Grandpa's description of his own life for you. You will have to learn of Grandma's life by reading between his lines, although I have inserted some pertinent family events. I was born at Shafton, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania, on the 23rd day of November, 1870, the oldest son of Morris and Sadie Greer Ramsay. My father was employed as mine foreman of the Shafton Coal Company until I reached the age of 9. I attended the common school at Shafton and Irwin until 1880. My father went to Houtsdale, Pennsylvania in 1880, and I attended the common school at Houtsdale. During vacation time, I was a trapper in the mine. In 1881, at age 11, and part of 1882, I was at local Hannah, where I attended common schools at McChesney Town and Latrobe. In 1882 to 84, I attended common school at Morewood, and during vacation time served as timekeeper and shipping clerk. From 1884 to 86, I attended the common school at Trotter. During vacation, I served as chainman on Frick Engineering Corps. A chainman helped a surveyor use a chain to measure distance. From 1886 until 1888, I attended one term of school at Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, and one term at Mount Pleasant Institute. During vacation, was assistant coke yard foreman and transit man. The coke plant at Morewood was owned by Morewood Coke Company Limited, later transferred to Southwest Coal and Coke Company, and on entry of the Illinois Steel, interest was changed to Southwest McConnellsville Coke Company. In 1889, at age 19, I was appointed chief engineer of the company, which had 5 mines, 1,200 coke ovens, 1,200,000 tons of coal per annum, all of which was converted to 800,000 tons of coke and employed 1,200 men. I held the position of chief engineer until December 1892, when my father, who was general manager, died. So, by being a professional mining engineer, he tutored me until his death. During 1892, on account of ill health, he was absent from the operation most of the time, and I acted in his place. And I insert that he married Jessie Thompson, December 17, 1891, and an infant son was born and died on August 20th, 1892. During my term as chief engineer, I had charge of the construction of 250 coke ovens, rebuilt 2 tipples, and installed haulage and ventilating systems. This gives an idea of my training and experience, which fitted me for positions I held throughout my mining career. On the death of my father, the position of general manager was abolished and that of general superintendent created, and I was appointed to that position by Mr. H.C. Frick, who had been interested in my training from 1882. At age 22, a daughter was born, Olive, and she survived until 1970. At age 25, a son, Frank Haskell, was born and died. During the labor trouble in 1894, I was the only manager in the Connellsville field that kept his plants in operation and was complimented by Mr. Frick for this achievement. Here is an article published May 3, 1894, in the Easton Free Press. This was a long drawn-out affair and resulted in undermining my health. And in 1896, I had a nervous breakdown. As a result of my activities and advice at this time, the Connellsville field had peace for around 40 years. At age 26, a daughter, Catherine, was born. At age 27, son William Thompson was born and died. In 1898, I returned to Connellsville Field as superintendent of the McClure Coke Company mine at Silverton, Pennsylvania. They had 2 mines with 300 coke ovens and employed 500 men. This property was acquired by H.C. Frick Company, and I went to West End, West Virginia, prospected and located a mine for the Gorman Coal and Coke Company. This time I developed, erected houses, etc. At age 28, a son, Lindsay, was born and died. This was in 1899. At this time, I was tendered the position of superintendent of the Indian Territory. They had 3 mines and employed 300 men. These mines had about all the ills known to the mining fraternity except water. A daughter was stillborn on the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma in 1901. Then in 1902, my dad, John, was born. These people sold out to the Central Coal and Coke Company in 1902. At this time, Mr. John Gates, who was president of the Illinois Steel Company at the time, I was manager of their coke interests, became interested in the Weaver Coal and Coke Company of Chicago and requested Mr. Weaver to place me in charge of their Illinois interests. At this point, my grandfather's autobiography halts, and I can fill in some dates. When Grandpa was 33 in 1903, there was the birth and death of Joan Ramsay in Knoxville, Tennessee, where he was employed in the mines near Knoxville. On September 1st in 1903, there was a birth of Jesse in DeCoin, Perry, Illinois. Then at age 35, November 6, 1905, the birth of a son, Henry Weaver Ramsay, in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he survived. At age 37, the birth of Mary Alice in Pennington Gap, Lee, West Virginia. And at age 38, the birth of Helen May in Knoxville, Tennessee. He was also in Knoxville when Sarah Jane was born, and Wilhelmina was born in Coral, Indiana, Pennsylvania. September 25th, 1913, the marriage of his daughter Olive to Charles Howard Moses in Indiana, Pennsylvania. At age 45, the birth of Louise May in Frostburg, Maryland. Sometime here, my father would have been in 7th grade in school, but had to drop out to help support the family. I was told that there was an agreement between my father and Sister Jessie, and that if Dad would take a job and let her go to Moravian College, she would then get a job and put him through school. In 1920, when Grandpa was age 50, he's listed in the census at Bethlehem, Lehigh Township, Pennsylvania. My understanding is that Grandpa was asked to be supervisor of the coke works at Bethlehem Steel. There were some issues related to World War I, but I have no documentation concerning William Ramsay's position with Bethlehem Steel. At age 53, he wrote a letter to his son John, my father. Dear John, this being your 21st birthday, I want to say that you have been an exceedingly good boy, and therefore a great comfort to your parents. I have always been sorry it was necessary for you to leave school, and sorry I have not been in a position to give you a better start in life. Advice is cheap. However, I would like to offer for your consideration the following. First, take good care of your health, because without health you will be handicapped. Second, be loyal and true to those who place confidence in you, and never betray anything given to you in confidence. Third, attend church regularly and take as active a part as possible in all the activities of your church. By so doing consistently in later life, it will bring you pleasant memories. Always be courteous and respectful, especially to your elders. Always be kind and considerate of your mother. She is the best friend you will ever have. She is as noble a woman as God ever put breath in. Always be kind and courteous to your sisters and brother. Be absolutely honest in all your dealings, as in the end you will gain more, and a clear conscience is a mighty fine thing to have. Seventh, be careful of the friends you make, as one is nearly always judged by the circle of friends they have. In saying this, I would suggest if at any time you can do anyone a good turn, no matter what their station in life, do it. Eighth, lay out a line of studies in your chosen field and apply yourself as much as possible to improve yourself that is consistent with maintaining your health. Always select good books. It has been a great comfort to me to know you do not use profane language. There is nothing to gain by it, and is a waste of time. I have a letter from my father which he wrote a few years before his death, and was found among his papers marked to be opened at the time of my death. I am attaching a copy of this letter to this, and when I am through with the original, I would ask that you take it and preserve it and passing it on to the next generation. This letter has been a comfort and help to me. I admit at times that I thought my father was hard on me, but as I grew older, I realized it was for my own good. Therefore, to have him write me as he did more than repaid me for my loyalty to him. I will not attempt to tell you who to go to for advice, as this is a matter you will know best as you develop your friends. However, nothing would give me more pleasure and comfort than the knowledge that you, your sisters, and brother will always be loyal and true to each other, and I know that you will be true and loyal to your mother. I wish for you the best of everything, and the greatest blessing I could wish and pray for would be the guiding care of our Heavenly Father. Your affectionate father, William Ramsay. By the time I was old enough to be aware of family concerns, I recall that Grandpa perhaps worked as a night watchman and did not work normal office hours. However, he was given a gold watch when he retired from Bethlehem Steel, and my dad passed that watch on to me when I got my first job, and I still grieve that it was accidentally destroyed in a farming operation. Grandpa's residence in 1935 is listed as RD4, Creek Road, Northampton Township, Pennsylvania. In this podcast, we now return to December 17th, 1941, where we started. It's the celebration of William and Jessie's 50th wedding anniversary, and I was asked to play the Golden Wedding. I don't have a recording from 1941, but here is Jane Singal playing it for you to end this vodcast on a pleasant note, while we show photos of the family, keeping in mind all the history these photos represent.